Welcome to our DLC office here at Apex High School. In this video, we're going to have a little conversation about what is video editing software, why do we need video editing software, and what are our options. So you may be asking yourself, why video editing? Why would you need to edit video? Why do you need software to edit video? So let's look at some scenarios of reasons why you may have to edit video. If you're creating instructional content, your lessons, you're delivering your content through video format, or if students have projects where they're involved in video, you may be creating something for professional development. Maybe you're going through national boards or helping someone with national boards and they need help editing their clips for national boards, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. And then maybe it could be possibly for clubs or promo videos that you want to create for your instructional content. Maybe you're creating social media content, again, lessons. So you also have to look at what types of footage you have, what types of video do you have. So if you have cell phone footage, then that's footage on a cell phone that you may not be able to edit on your actual phone. We need to get that footage off the phone onto a computer to edit. That can be a little bit tricky, or take a couple of steps, I should say at least, depending on the device you have, the computers you have, things of that nature. If you're filming with a DSLR camera, which would be a camera of some sort that would film your footage onto and save it to an SD card or a micro SD card. And then that would be easier to get the footage off of that type of camera on your computer because you can insert that using a video card kind of converter that you would plug into your laptop or your computer. And then most commonly, maybe that we're using as teachers is screencast videos. So maybe we're using Canvas Studio and we're actually recording our screens like I am doing now, presenting instruction to our students. So that way they can, view it at different times if they were absent, or review it multiple times, things of that nature. So for whatever reason, video is involved, we want to kind of start establishing the types of videos you have to edit. Now let's look at common reasons to edit. So you're like, okay, well, what do you mean by editing? So combining clips. So if you did have clips on a phone and you want to put them all together into one video, that'd be combining them. Or if you film them on a camera of some sorts and you film multiple scenes or clips, you want to put them together. You may also want to make adjustments to those video clips. You may want to adjust the audio levels. You may want to adjust the color. You may want to add a certain effect. You may want to edit the audio. Maybe the audio needs to be increased or decreased. You may want to add transitions in between your clips. You may want to trim video clips. So maybe you hit record and there's a long pause before the action of the video starts to take place. So you trim that out. Or maybe during the middle of something you were presenting or someone else was presenting or filming, there's a mishap or someone misspoke, or there's a reason to cut out a portion of that. So editing can cut that and remove that out and then put the other clips back together where something was to kind of make another transition there. You can also look at formatting and file size. I mentioned national boards. They sometimes like their videos to be a certain size or less, and you may have to compress your footage, and you can use video editing software to compress it. You can also make the changes to the footage that you can, like increasing audio, or sometimes they let you combine clips, that type of thing. So there's various reasons to edit videos, and then we want to look at the types of software applications that you can use to edit with. So the first two on the left are for beginners, I would say. The farthest left being Adobe Express, being a browser-based video editor, which is where we'll begin. So if you are screencasting and you're using any kind of approved software to screencast with, but now you want to make some edits to it beyond the editor that maybe Canvas Studio has within it. Maybe you want to add a snazzy intro or things of that nature. Then we're going to look at Adobe Express, which you can just launch in your portal. When you click on Adobe, that's what comes up. Or you may want to look into getting into an editor that's similar to like iMovie, where it's like drag and drop. It's a little bit heavier of a lift. You can bring in larger video clips. It's not browser based. It's an actual installed software application, so it's going to run more consistently and faster and things of that nature. Then you may want to begin with Premiere Rush. If you already have some video experience, or you're just like, I want to go to like the most advanced software you have that can handle anything, because I'm going to eventually get complex and do all sorts of multiple camera angles and audio and things of that nature, then you would just want to go into Adobe Premiere Pro. So for example, let's first look at Adobe Express. Go ahead and click on in your portal Adobe Creative Cloud, and that'll take you to Adobe Express. And you can see here we have a video link here. Here we can see video. We can create from scratch. We can browse templates. Let's take a look at the templates for a moment. We'll come in here and you can actually take a tour. Let's go ahead and skip the tour for the moment. But over here are some video templates that you can choose from, whether you're looking for an intro or just a kind of a nice way to begin your video, or you want to make one completely out of what's here. You can search through here. We're not going to go through. This is not a tutorial. I'm just showing you the level of what you can do. Here again is the tour. You can create voiceover stories. You can add collaboration. Some of these features may not be enabled for us per se, but we'll go through all that when we go through Adobe Express. The other options you have are coming back to Adobe Express. Would be on the far right, coming to Adobe Creative Cloud. So if you click on that, so I'm in the browser version. You can install and open and download from the actual browser. I showed you how to get the desktop version and launch from there, because if you use that, the installed app launcher, it shows you status. If something needs to be updated, you can manage all your apps easily in one location, versus the browser that we're in now isn't as easy to navigate, in my personal opinion. But either way, you can get to the same destination. So here, you'd want to go ahead and come over to Apps, and we want to go ahead and filter by video. And again, here are your options: Adobe Express, which we just looked at. Premiere Pro is which I use. You can install that. You want to click on Learn More to learn more about that. Let's go ahead and do that. It kind of has the option for you to install it here, but it just goes through a little bit if you want to go through a couple of tutorials. And then that leads you to Premiere Rush, which is also, if we come back here, further down here, we see we have Premiere Rush. So I want to learn more about Premiere Rush. And I can see that Premiere Rush is going to work on an iPad, your computer, and your phone, and can sync in the cloud, things of that nature. It's got some capabilities. We'll discuss that when we get into that. So that may be an option that you're interested in, versus Premiere Pro, which doesn't have the same capabilities as far as being on a phone or an iPad and syncing to the cloud. That would be on your computer all by itself. So if you want to go through a couple of videos here, look at the interface, and make a decision on which direction you want to go. Do you want to go with Adobe Express? Do you want to go with Premiere Pro? Do you want to go with Premiere Rush? So that's a look at why we would edit video, what do we mean by video editing, and the 3 different video editing applications that we have access to through our Wake County accounts. Thanks for watching. If you need help with either Adobe Premiere Pro or Adobe Premiere Rush, contact Mike Meehan or myself. And always be on the lookout for our latest blog posts, podcasts, or videos. We post them on our DLC Canvas course.